What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing today? I hope you're doing well. I haven't done a YouTube video for probably quite some time, but I figure, well, let's start paying more attention to my YouTube channel. We're going to talk about today is marriages. I've had 4 of them, and 4 of them's failed. I take responsibility for my part, and so yeah. But I'm gonna explain to you what I believe was the cause for the demise of those. You see, the first one was married kind of young, and he dated this girl for a while, ups and downs. I wasn't the best of boyfriends, at that time, but I think I figured out the reason why I was the way I was with this person. And I went to pick him up, her up, from school one day. Keep in mind, this was in the 80s. And as I'm sitting there waiting for her to exit the school, I look up and I see her walking with this guy, and I could have swore they was holding hands. I know they was holding hands. But in that moment, you think it's like, did I just see what I saw? Thought I saw? So, you're in this relationship, it's new, so you're just like, well, maybe I didn't. But I don't know why I was telling myself that I didn't see it, because I did see it. They were holding hands. And I think in the back of my mind, I knew they was holding hands. And so I held that all that time, and I never could actually commit to him. And I shouldn't have married him, but I did, for whatever reason. Thought I loved him, but she wasn't no good at the end of the day, because while like what I said, I wasn't the best boyfriend, and I wasn't faithful to her. But once I got married to her, I was faithful. I didn't do no screwing around. She's the one that was screwing around, and with a married person as well. So she destroyed. Well, that other guy's wife stayed with him. Must be good luck, true love, because I'm not sticking around. If I'm married to you and you cheat on me, I'm gone. Bye bye. So, and then the second one, I married. I called her my Southern Belle because she was from Kentucky, and she was a good person though. She was a barmaid, and then once we got together, she got out of the bar scene. But all this time that I was together with her, don't get me wrong, we had a little bit of rocky patch there. But she was what I considered too close to she had 3 kids and 3 different daddies with those kids. So one of those kids' daddies, I believe that she was too close to him. Asking him to do all kinds of stuff all the time. And I'm at work one day, and I kept having this feeling that something just wasn't right. She was dropping me off at work and then supposedly going to work. Well, that same dude lived close by, and I just had this feeling. It was in my gut. Something wasn't right. So what I done was I took a ride. Well, I got somebody to take me over to where the dude lived, and sure enough, my pickup truck was parked in front of his trailer. And I'm not even asking any questions at this point. I'm just getting in my truck and going. I just go back to work, and because I'm like, oh, this marriage is over. Because I'm just not gonna. It's not right. It just substantiated what my belief was. And so I go back to work, and then they show up trying to explain away and all that. I was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'll just pack my stuff up because I'm leaving. I'm gone. So yeah, that was the end of that one. And I just wasn't gonna put up with it. Now, like I said, she was a good person and all, but she was just too close to the other guy. She should have relied on it too much when I'm there, you know. Then there's a third one. Now, this lady was much older than me. I'm talking a lot older. But I wanted her. I think that's like one of the first, or the second woman that I've actually pursued on my own, without them having an interest in me first. So, but anyways, little backstory to that. This lady and her family, and I was in junior high at the time, and they lived up the street. We lived in the same trailer court, and they lived up the street. And I always thought she was beautiful then. And she was very pretty. And most people would say most kids my age would be talking about their daughter because she was pretty. No, I thought she was pretty. Yeah. So this happenstance, we was working at the same place later on in life. She's single, I'm single. So I went for it. I told these people that I was working with, I told them, I'm going to marry her. And I hadn't asked her out yet, but I told them I'm going to marry her. They thought I was full crap. But, so I pursued it, a relationship with her, and so then we got married. When I said I was wanting to get married, I asked her if she would want to get married sometime. I didn't mean right at that moment, right in that time frame there. You know, it was like after we've been together for a while, or whatever. But she said that she would marry me, so I was like, okay, well, we'll just set a date. I didn't intend on proposing, but that's kind of what happened. So we got married, and which was married for 7 years, and I don't really know what the demise was. I think because the age difference there, and some stuff that went on with her. It's not really nothing to do with her per se. It was her family, because her brother didn't like me. So one day he come out. We was living in her parents' old house, which they had both passed away. Her mom first, and then her dad. And so we was living in their house and wasn't paying no rent, because he said that we didn't have to pay no rent. We could live there as long as we wanted. Carol, my wife, did it. Well, like I said, he didn't like me. And then one day I come out, I'm getting ready to go to work. So I go out to my vehicle, and there's a note on my windshield. It says that I'm going to have to pay rent. It's like $300 or something like that. I don't know. But I'm like, I'm not, me, not her. I was going to have to pay rent. And I was like, that ain't going to fucking work. So not when I have a place that's mine, and all I have to do is put a trailer on it, and I can have my own home. I'm not gonna pay them rent. That's crazy. So, needless to say, I packed my shit and I moved to where I am now. So, she didn't want to live out here. So I was like, well, I want to live here. This is my place. It's paid for. That's where I'm going to stay. So that didn't last. Which, I mean, it was an easy divorce. I mean, we wasn't bickering or nothing. I had to buy her out. But there was one thing that kind of stuck in the back of my mind. You know, that maybe she's not as good a person as what I thought she was. You know? Because there was these work parties, office parties, and office people would go to them. I wasn't an office person. I was production. You know, she was office, but at one time she was production. She worked on the assembly line. But she moved into the office, and you know, she fit right in there because that's the kind of background she had, small business owner and all that. So I went one time. She invited me one time to go with her to one of these office parties, and I was like the odd man out, because all I did was sit by myself. I try to have conversations with people. It's like I felt like I was being ignored, like I was beneath them, because, you know, they're office people and I'm a production person. They're up here and I'm down here. That's the way I felt that they was thinking about me. So, I mean, I would have kept going. So then, while we was there was this Japanese guy, because the company that we worked for was owned by the Japanese company. And while we're there, I'm like, I just noticed that her and this guy was spending a lot of time together. A lot of time talking. But she wasn't doing that with me. You can tell when somebody's kind of intent with someone. They're intense. Their conversation is intense. Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. I had a sinus problem, so I had to take care of it. Hence, that's the Kleenexes there. So, anyways, their conversation was intense. It's like they was focused on each other. So that throws a caution flag up. It's like, well, you could be something that you need to worry about. Could be. Well, fast forward some time, and guess what? Another office party. But this time, spouses are not invited. So now it goes from a caution flag up here in the brains, like, now it's a red flag. It's like, something ain't right here. So in the back of my mind, moving forward, I had later on in the years, I had that in the back of my mind. That hey, there was something there. So again, I couldn't commit myself 100% to that relationship. After that, I had to distance myself so that way I wouldn't get hurt, get my heart broken. So, yeah. And then, wait quite a while, spend some time by myself. I'd have girlfriends here and there, stuff like that. Then I meet this lady, and end up getting married. Well, it was rocky, communication problem was part of it, and their kids caused some issues. Like right off the bat, right? The same time I asked them to marry me, which was on Mother's Day, before I could finish my proposal, one of their kids interrupted angrily and then stormed out. Did that to her own mother on Mother's Day as she's getting proposed to. And keep in mind, the daddy had already moved on and been married for a while now. But it's like it's okay for the daddy to get married, but not the mom. So, but the kids created some problems because they felt that their mom should not be married in the hopes that they would get back together. That's basically what it was. It wasn't going to happen. So, lasted quite a while. But when you have these little arguments and stuff, it takes a toll on your relationship. It does take a toll. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty of being part of the problem. But as this relationship came to an end, the marriage, this person kept saying, well, even before the demise, even before we was getting ready to get divorced, this person was saying that they are not any better off than what they was before they got married to me. Not any better off. Their situation wasn't any better after marrying me. So when you put that in perspective, let me repeat. I'm not any better off than what I was before we got married. My situation's not any better. That right there tells you, should tell you a lot about what that relationship was. It should. Because that person was looking at marriage as a means to enable them to gain something, to improve their life. Whereas me, I wasn't looking to improve my life. I was looking for somebody to share life with. You know, that's what I was looking for. I already had the home, had everything, so, and I was still that way right now. I don't need it. I have a home. You know, it wasn't nice to have somebody to share. It would have been really nice had it not been for all the drama leading up to that. But if a person comes into a relationship with the let me see, with the thought that they're gonna improve themselves, their life, that they're gonna gain something from being with this person, it's not gonna work. And you're in it for the wrong reason. It's not love. It's not love at all. That is, hey, this person has this. If I get with them, I'll be able to improve my stuff, my situation. That's not a way to get married. It's not a reason to get married. Not at all. And so after hearing that a few times, because they said it multiple times there toward the end, that they hadn't gained anything, I'm like, yeah, that tells me a lot. So, but that one's now that it's over, you know, drama free, and life goes on. They went their way, seem to be happy. So, you know, I'm glad they got what they wanted. Their happiness. So, but the lesson that I've learned here is always go with that first intuition, because 9 times out of 10, what you think you saw or heard or, you know, caught on to or something, 9 times out of 10 is true. So, you know, listen to that person telling you, hey, step back, don't go down that rabbit hole. Listen to them. Don't do it. And additionally, here, as a good lesson that should be learned, is make sure when you get married that you're marrying for love, not convenience, nothing like that. If you're marrying for convenience or other stuff like that, it's not going to work. You have to marry for love. And if you're not marrying for love, you're just wasting your time. So, anyways, with that being said, I say, God bless you. God bless President Trump. And God bless the United States. Y'all take care.